Welcome back to the channel. Today what we're doing, we're going to be dropping the Big Lots trailer off here at a dock. This dock is kind of unusual because the way the parking lot is sloped, you probably can't tell how the parking lot itself is sloped. If you look back here at the back of the trailer compared to the opening for the dock, you can see how much there's a gap there at the bottom, none at the top. That's because of this parking lot being sloped. When I run into this situation, what I do is I have some ramps that I made or 10x2s, and what I'm going to do is I have them in the trailer right now. I'm going to pull them out, then I'm going to back the trailer up against the wall here, and then I'm going to place each of them, one here and then one right here at this wheel, and then I'm going to utilize that bumper that's there in between the ramps here in the gap between the tires, because when that rear tire comes up the ramp and it wants to go to the second ramp, it's going to want to drop all the way to the ground, and we don't want that because that can damage the ramp or the tire. So we're going to build up a little bit right there, so when it comes off the one ramp and goes onto the other ramp, it's not dropping all the way to the ground. I'll make a little video of that happening when I do that. Then you also have to pay attention, because when you do that, this entire trailer is going to lean up. That's why I'm real close to this edge, because this here is going to come up to match pretty close to that. If you look over there at that side, now if you look here, you can see there's a pretty good gap between height wise here, and then over here you can see that it's about even already. But now this whole trailer is going to lean this way when it goes up the ramp. So you want to be over far enough to where the top of the trailer will actually not be here, but be in here, so you don't hit these. When you go to back up on this particular dock, the top of the trailer will wind up inside the opening. I now have the trailer back against the wall here. Like I said, I'm going to take these ramps and I'm going to put them right here where I want them to be, where the tires are going to be sitting. See how I got it kind of centered with the hub to where the flat will be right there? And then I'm going to take the other one, I'm going to do the same thing. That way when I pull forward and I go ahead, just have to slide them in to the width of the tires, so the tires will be up there. Then like I said, I'm going to use that bumper in between and put that there. Take this and put also there for it to ride across to the second. Okay, as you see, I pulled up, so now all I gotta do is slide these ramps in and set everything up in between. The guy that rents this warehouse used to keep a ramp out here, but there's a pallet company right next door that keeps stealing his ramps, so he's not able to keep a ramp out here, so I make sure I carry my own. This is one of the, it's not hard to back in as long as they don't park stuff in front of the dock. You can, there's another gate up there, you line up and you can back straight up to it. But the challenge is to making the trailer where it's level for them to be able to put their temporary dock plate in there and be able to load and unload the trailer. That's where the challenge is, to make it level. I got the setup here. Now 4x4 is a little bit much. It should work just fine. I'm going to go ahead and probably change that little board there and put the 4x4 up there, because I'm thinking that way it'd be better, because it won't be so high. And I'm going to need the 4x4 anyways here in a little bit. And I'll show you why. Yeah, see, that works better for it to drop down on. Okay, you see how that all worked there? Now granted, I had the 4x4 a little further up the ramp, and I actually didn't do that. If you look back at the video, what had happened is I tapped the brakes and I did not have the service brakes disabled on the trailer. It actually slid that 4x4 up the ramp, created a good gap there, and the way the trailer broke it. You can see how the ramp is sitting directly under the center of the tires. It went off of one ramp onto there, as you can see in the video. And now if you look, and almost level, it might not be perfectly level, but it's a whole lot better than it was. If you look up there, you can see how it's inside of the opening, and that's why it's so critical where you're positioned when you start this. I appreciate everybody coming back to the channel. Now go ahead and hit that subscribe and that bell button and join the channel so we can show you more stuff like this. Thank you, and come on back.